What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another video. And today's video is going to be about um, the layoff of all the employees that worked at Activision, or not just under Activision, but also under the Call of Duty studios and stuff like that, game studios that are owned by Activision and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of people in the community that are very upset about this, and rightfully so, because the fact that a lot of people have gotten laid off, and a lot of them work passionately on these games every year almost. It kind of does suck, right? But one thing I always look at is the reason as to why these things happen, because you have to think about it. The Microsoft and the Activision merger with Microsoft is it was a lot of money. It was like $60 billion, so it was a lot of money that was being put on the table to buy the company, to acquire the company, and so of course it's not something that's unusual and it's not normal when a company decides, hey, we're gonna lay off a bunch of employees and we're gonna just let them go because of the biggest reason as to why, and I started looking at it this way based off research I've done, is due to the fact that not only spent a lot of money on the table, but they also have they're gonna have a lot of employees in areas of the company that don't need to be there, and so if they double the amount of employees that they have, it's just gonna be too much, just for doing certain jobs, for example, right? For working on certain areas in the studios like that. So, although it does suck, the reality is that they're doing it for that reason, also for financial reasons as well. For financial reasons as well. There are a lot of YouTubers who are using this to take an opportunity to, just make another video, completely wasting their time, getting mad, and then saying that, oh well, Activision is ruining Call of Duty, and Microsoft doesn't really care about the community. The thing is that we don't really know yet if Microsoft really will. I can say based off of what I've seen, what they've done with Bethesda, for example, most likely the case might be is that Activision might operate the same still. But the thing is that we don't know if that would be the case or not. But based off of the history with Microsoft, that could be the case. So I don't think that this is a let's blame Microsoft situation. This is more just this is how mergers normally would happen. They're not just doing it just to screw people over. They're doing it because of a reason, obviously. But of course, there were, I think, 19. It was exactly 19,000 employees that were laid off, and when it comes to looking back at before, when Bobby Kotick left the company, and he left with a really big package of a bunch of money, so he doesn't have to worry about being broke, living in the street for the rest of his life. Pretty much, he's at that point and whatnot. But looking back at that and then connecting it with this, when it comes to when a company acquires a different studio or different company, that's normally what would happen. A bunch of layoffs would happen because of that reason. That is the same thing that happened with Bethesda, I'm pretty sure. If you look at in the past what happened when they were able to acquire Bethesda Studios, or Bethesda the company. But what I'm also seeing as well, and I think that a lot of people were already seeing this beforehand, that Game Pass is a really big thing for Microsoft. It's the biggest moneymaker for Microsoft. That's why they changed the Game Pass system to make it so that if you want to play online, you can't just go ahead. You can still buy gold, like you can still probably buy the 1 year card somewhere off the internet somewhere, have it shipped to your home or whatever it is, right? But aside from all of that, they're making it more like you have to pay for Game Pass. Hey folks, this is future me. I looked into the information again, and I got it partially correct. It was actually that 19,000 employees, meaning that there are also employees that worked at Bethesda that also been laid off as well. That's the part I didn't look at, and that corrects the information that I didn't first I had that I didn't mention in the video. So I guess back to the video description to be able to play on with Xbox Live on online titles like that. Um, but here's the thing: the reason that I can jump to, and I think that a lot of people would agree because it is the truth is a reality, is that the reason why Microsoft bought off Activision, one, because their biggest money maker, they make a bunch of money every year with Call of Duty and all their other IPs and shit, right? So they're the biggest money maker. Not only that, but it gives them an opportunity to then put more of their games onto Game Pass, which basically brings in more value to an already existing Game Pass subscription. So that's another reason as to why they went out of their way to spend over $60 billion to buy off the company. They started off really good in the beginning by fixing up the old servers and all the Call of Duties, ranging from I don't know if it was the first Call of Duty or like COD 4 all the way up until Black Ops 2. I believe so. I don't think Black Ops 2 would need to be fixed because Black Ops 2, even with a bunch of hackers in the game and shit, you can still find lobbies. Even before that happened, you can still find lobbies. But it started good in the beginning, but then people started to kind of doubt that Microsoft's really going to be serious and changing things up in the studios. I really want Microsoft to at least give developers more time to work on their games. That's what I've always been about. Always been about pushing these companies to give these developers more time to work to work on their stuff. Unfortunately, the reality is that we might never see that, uh, especially due to the fact that Treyarch is given not too much time to help work on their own titles and also help Infinity Ward and such and rare games work on their titles. It's not because of the fact that Infinity Ward and such and rare games get so much slack. It's due to how much time they're given to work on the projects. So it's even bad on Infinity Ward and such and rare games if they have a whole other studio helping them out on their new titles as well. So everybody's being basically screwed over by Activision and by Microsoft if you look at it that way, instead of looking at it as like, oh, Treyarch is getting screwed over because Treyarch is the best studio. Like, fuck out of here with that shit. But at the end of the day, it does suck that a lot of people got laid off, but they can definitely find a better job somewhere else. A company that values their work, that values their time, and putting work and effort into their games and bringing it to as many consumers as possible. It's just that how competitive the industry is and how much how much bigger it's gotten over the past decade. I don't know if really any company across the United States, or at least in California, for example, I don't know if you can even find a job that was as good or even better than that one. I'm not sure, but maybe they can figure it out. I don't know. It's a sucky situation. And if I were in her shoes, I would be upset as well if I was being laid off after, 10 years of work with Activision, or 20 years or whatever. How many years that I'll be working in the studio or whatever. I'll be upset as well because, people, they go through a lot of stress and they have to support their family or whatever it is they have to deal with and stuff like that. And so that's like the last thing you want to hear is you being laid off of a company because of the the merger and stuff like that. It sucks, but there's nothing much you can do really. You can't just go ahead and demand Activision or Microsoft rehiring those people because it's never gonna happen. But anyways, folks, that is just the rest of the video. Well, that's the end. This is the end of the video. If you guys did like the video, I guess subscribe, share this video with other friends or family members if you that will help a lot. there are a lot of you that aren't subscribed to my channel. I would appreciate it if you guys were to subscribe. If you like this content, basically. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.